What if one woman's so-called gossip was the spark that could burn down a hip-hop empire? The Sean Diddy Combs trial is tearing through the music world like a wildfire, exposing allegations of abuse, coercion, and a shadowy network that's kept secrets buried for decades. And one name keeps rising from the ashes: Wendy Williams. Long before the feds raided Diddy's mansions, the queen of Hot Topics was sounding alarms about his control, his parties, and the industry that shielded him. Was she just chasing clout, or did she see a truth too dangerous to touch? We're diving deep into the trial that's ripping the curtain off hip-hop's darkest corners, from heart-wrenching testimonies to a system that might have protected the wrong people for far too long. Buckle up. This story's about to take you on a ride you won't forget. Let's set the stage with the chaos that's unfolding in New York City, spring 2025. Sean Combs, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, the man who built Bad Boy Records into a hip-hop juggernaut, is staring down federal charges that could lock him away for life. Racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud or coercion, and transportation for prostitution. He's pleaded not guilty to it all, but the courtroom's been a pressure cooker since the trial kicked off in early May. The stakes? A legacy that turned artists like Notorious B.I.G., Mary J. Blige, and Usher into icons now hangs in the balance. The prosecution's painting Diddy as the mastermind of a criminal enterprise, using his empire, Bad Boy, Combs Enterprises, and more to control and exploit women for decades. The star witness, Cassandra Cassie Ventura, his ex-girlfriend of over 10 years, took the stand for 4 gut-wrenching days, 8 months pregnant, her voice trembling as she described a relationship that sounds like a living nightmare. Jurors watched a 2016 hotel video first leaked by CNN, showing Diddy throwing Cassie to the ground and dragging her down a hallway. It's not gossip, it's evidence, and it's got the world asking, how did this stay hidden for so long? The answer's coming, and it's darker than you think. Cassie's story is the beating heart of this trial, and it's not easy to hear. She was just 19, a rising R&B star, when she met Diddy, then pushing 40, in 2007. Her debut album, released on Bad Boy in 2006, was a hit, but it came with strings. She says Diddy didn't just sign her, he controlled her entire world. From tracking her phone to dictating her outfits, Cassie testified he called the shots on everything: her career, her friends, even her appearance during what prosecutors call freak-offs, drug-fueled sexual marathons with male escorts that Diddy allegedly orchestrated. She described being coerced into acts she didn't want, often under the haze of drugs like ecstasy or ketamine, with Diddy watching, sometimes joining, and always recording. Recovery took days, with IV bags on standby to pull her back from the edge. One chilling moment came in 2018 after their relationship ended, when Cassie alleges Diddy forced himself on her after a dinner, a claim she says left her shattered. The defense fired back, pointing to texts from 2017 where Cassie wrote she loved the freak-offs, but she insisted those were words of survival, not truth. She felt blackmailed, with Diddy allegedly threatening to leak explicit videos to ruin her. Her testimony wasn't just raw, it was a window into a world of fear and control, and it's shaking everyone who hears it. But Cassie didn't stand alone. The courtroom's been a parade of witnesses backing Cassie's claims, and their stories hit like a sledgehammer. Dawn. Richard, a former member of Danity Kane, a group signed to Bad Boy, took the stand and recounted a 2010 dinner at a high-end restaurant, stars like Usher and Ne-Yo in the room, when Diddy allegedly struck Cassie in front of everyone. Nobody moved. Dawn said she urged Cassie to leave but stayed silent herself, terrified of Diddy's warning that people who talk go missing. Cassie's mom, Regina Ventura, testified about a bizarre 2011 incident where Diddy demanded $20,000 from her, claiming it was for money spent on Cassie, only to return it days later with a threat to release compromising videos. David James, Diddy's former assistant, described a tense moment when Diddy's security guard, D-Rock, warned him that Suge Knight, Diddy's West Coast rival, was nearby, hinting at the mogul's iron grip on his circle. Then there's The Punisher, a male escort who detailed hotel setups with candles, cameras, and thousands of baby oil bottles scattered around. Scenes straight out of a twisted script. Even a forensic psychologist, Dawn Hughes, is expected to testify, drawing parallels to cases like R. Kelly's, suggesting a pattern of predatory behavior. These aren't just anecdotes, they're pieces of a puzzle that points to something systematic. And that's where one woman's voice keeps echoing through the chaos. That woman is Wendy Williams, the talk show host who's been waving red flags about Diddy since the 90s. Let's be crystal clear. As of May 22, 2025, there's no verified report of Wendy testifying in this trial, but her past warnings are screaming louder than ever. Back in her radio days, hosting the Wendy Williams show on WBLS, she didn't just gossip, she dropped bombs. She called out Diddy's control over artists, his lavish parties with strict NDAs, and a culture where speaking out meant losing everything. In her 2004 book, The Wendy Williams Experience, she laced her pages with coded hints about Diddy's after-dark world and the industry's silent pact to protect him. In 2024, when Diddy's homes were raided, she told Daily Mail, "It is about time," claiming she was fired from her top-rated radio show in 1998 after exposing Diddy's tactics. Posts on X back this up, with users saying Diddy orchestrated her blackballing, though we can't confirm that as fact. Wendy's been a lightning rod, unafraid to name names, Diddy, Jay-Z, even industry giants like Oprah and Tyler Perry in her rants about a machine that crushes truth-tellers. Her interviews with figures like Karen Superhead Steffens, who spilled on Diddy's paranoia and party setups, were shut down fast, with sponsors pulling out and airtime slashed. Was she just stirring drama, or did she see the cracks in a system nobody else dared touch? The trial's making it hard to dismiss her. This is where the story gets bigger than Diddy himself. The prosecution's case isn't just about one man, it's about a network that allegedly enabled him. Witnesses say Diddy didn't act alone. Security guards stood by during assaults, assistants booked hotel suites with specific amenities like candles and baby oil, and NDAs locked everyone in silence. Cassie testified about staff unlocking her hotel doors for Diddy unannounced, as if his access was absolute. Dawn Richard and others described a culture where speaking out meant losing your career, your connections, your life in the industry. Wendy's been saying this for years. She claimed she lost sponsors, BET invites, and her radio slot for calling out Diddy's control and others like Jay-Z. Now rumors about Jay-Z's early ties to Foxy Brown, who was 15 when she signed to Def Jam, are swirling on X, with fans speculating about grooming. Let's be real, those are just whispers, not evidence, and we won't treat them as fact. But the trial's exposing a world where power bought loyalty, and NDAs were as common as record deals. Wendy said she was offered one to stay quiet about Diddy's parties. She refused, and her career paid the price. Sound familiar? It's starting to look like she was onto something bigger than anyone wanted to admit. Now, let's zero in on the freak-offs, because they're the dark pulse of this case. Prosecutors say these weren't parties, they were operations, planned down to the last detail. Hotels booked with presidential suites, candles set for mood, cameras rolling to capture every moment, and thousands of baby oil bottles. Over 1,000 found in Diddy's Miami and LA homes during March 2024 raids. Witnesses described drugs like ketamine, ecstasy, and HB flowing freely, keeping participants compliant. Medical assistants were allegedly on standby with IV fluids to help people recover from days-long sessions. Cassie said she was coerced into acts with male escorts, often under Diddy's watchful eye, and felt trapped by the threat of leaked videos. The male escort, The Punisher, backed this up, describing rooms littered with empty bottles and a vibe that felt more like a transaction than a party. Wendy mentioned baby oil on her show years ago, half laughing, but now it's evidence in a federal indictment. Karen Steffens on Wendy's radio show in the 2000s described Diddy's paranoia and strange setups like guests being assigned rooms and roles. Wendy played that clip over and over like a warning nobody heeded. The court's hearing eerily similar stories now, and it's chilling how they line up. This wasn't just excess, it was control, disguised as celebration, and swept clean by a system that knew how to hide the dirt. Speaking out has a price, and nobody knows that better than Cassie and Wendy. Cassie's testimony was raw. She sobbed on the stand, 8 months pregnant, reliving years of fear. "The more I heal, the more I remember," she said, her husband visibly shaken in the courtroom. She talked about the 2016 hotel incident, caught on tape, where Diddy dragged her like she was property. She described 2011, when Diddy allegedly assaulted her after learning she was dating Kid Cudi, demanding $20,000 from her mom as a power play. Her courage is undeniable, but it's taken a toll. Her attorney read a statement outside court thanking supporters but hinting at the emotional scars she carries. Wendy's scars are different, but just as real. She claimed executives warned her to stop talking about Diddy or face ruin. After calling out his parties and control over artists like Cassie, she lost sponsors, syndication deals, and her radio throne. She once said a girl group Total confronted her outside her studio after she called them broke on air. Not a random clash, but a message, she believed, from Diddy. Whether or not Wendy's in that courtroom now, her voice is there, carried by every witness breaking the silence. But the cost, career, peace, safety, hangs heavy over them all. So, what does this trial mean for hip-hop? It's not just about Diddy, it's a reckoning for an industry that's thrived on power, secrecy, and silence. Cassie's courage, the witnesses' stories, and Wendy's decades-old warnings are pulling back a curtain on a world where NDAs were currency and truth-tellers were erased. From hotel setups to leaked footage, from blackballing to baby oil stockpiles, it's all spilling out. But will it change anything? Can hip-hop face its shadows, or will the machine keep spinning, protecting the powerful and punishing the brave? That's for us to keep pushing. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What does this trial mean for the industry? Hit subscribe and stay tuned because this story's far from over. The truth's loud now, and it's not backing down.